Hey everybody, out here early this morning. You can see the BMW on the lift there. That's the project to get it down off the lift. Didn't want to, but we got a different project for this weekend. Get some light. Yeah. Friend of mine, we're getting ready to drop the engine out of it, do some little bit of refresh work to it. Not internally, but gasket wise, turbo wise, exhaust wise. So that is going to be our weekend project. Hopefully turn it around in one weekend and make it a decent video. I'm not really going to post everything as I go day by day, so I'll probably try and make it into a weekend video of dropping the engine out, getting it on the stand, do what we have to, get it back in the car, and kind of get it transformed in a weekend. So it ought to be a fun time. Hopefully you enjoy the video. Hope you enjoyed that video there. Now let's see if we can refresh this thing in a weekend. Alright, just wanted to go over what we're going to be doing to this thing over the course of this weekend. I guess he's been having a little bit of cooling issues. It's got a nasty exhaust leak. It sounds horrible in the car. We believe it's actually either the manifold gasket at the head to the manifold, or the manifold is cracked, but I'm pretty sure it might actually be both. So we just decided that we wanted to re-gasket kind of the whole engine anyways, change the water pump, just go over some stuff. It doesn't have AC. I'm still waiting on him to get back a hold of me. We may end up just pulling the rest of the AC stuff out. As you can see, well, I guess you can't see on the video, but there's just lines that are open for the AC that pretty much just, they could be out of the way and it could clean up under the hood a little bit. gonna do a new wastegate actuator. I'll have to see what brand it is, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna do a new wastegate actuator, new manifold or turbo fold. I got that planned. Probably drop the engine out, check the rear main. I don't know, I'll have to look at the gasket kit and everything, but definitely valve cover gasket, oil pan gasket, water pump, new water pump gasket. He may have a timing belt, I don't know. Have to go through all the stuff that he left in the car for me. He actually went on vacation, so I went over and picked it up from his house last night, or actually his uncle's house, which I have his uncle's car here, so it's kind of just get all this done over the weekend, have it ready for him when he gets back. That's the plan anyways, but I know how my plans go. Anytime I do that, then it ends up being a lot longer than what I expected, but I got some friends coming over, so hopefully we'll be able to knock this all out and get it back together over this, just the short 2 days of a weekend. So I was up earlier today than when I normally have to get up for work, so I'm hoping that try and get up and stay out late and get this thing done. So hopefully everybody will want to watch along or enjoy the video and kind of, yeah, just keep plugging away at it. Upon first inspection, I noticed the biggest thing that stuck out to me was the battery tray here. I got the bolts sprayed down with some PB Blaster, so hopefully they don't break off, but if they do, it is what it is. I'll make it work. Everything else under the hood isn't too bad, just needs clean. The valve cover's peeling a little bit. Probably pull that tray off, sandblast it, and throw a new coat of paint on it for him. As far as I know, this car has been, as long as it's been in his possession, it's been an Indiana and Ohio car. So, I mean, for overall though, how old it is, and those states, you know, Ohio, ever since I've lived here, I've been born and raised here, I mean, they've always used stuff that really eats up cars. The cars, you know, are known to be rusty piles in Ohio, so everybody travels south, or, you know, you're going to pay a premium for one that's, you know, extremely clean and been well maintained in Ohio. This car overall though, I mean, it's really, really nice. It's solid. It doesn't have any rust. It's got a couple spots on the bottom side that have just like a little bit of surface rust that maybe we'll, you know, attend to, or at least I'll bring to his attention, and maybe that'll be a project for later this summer, get this thing undercoated. I'm not too sure if he's going to drive it in the winter. I know he just bought a truck like yesterday or today. So this thing may never even see salt, or very seldom see salt. So, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys the very first thing that stuck out. It really, really is an eyesore under the hood. Other than that, it just needs a good cleaning and maybe a new coat of paint on the valve cover and where the paint's coming off on the, you know, that little cover there. So other than that, it's not too bad. We'll get her shaped up for him and get it looking all right. And there's the AC lines that I was talking about, but I did get confirmation that he would like to put AC back in the car eventually, so we are just going to leave him in there, and maybe that'll be another project for me to do, get the AC working in this thing again. So couple issues that I'm running into, nothing too major. The actual ground wire can't quite see where it goes to, but it goes to one of the starter bolts. And the way that they have it set up is the bolt is too long you can't back it out without hitting the throttle body. So I thought that was kind of a rather dumb idea, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that I'll have to find a workaround. That's the only thing right there that's holding the wiring harness up on this side. It goes down back to the alternator. I still have to unhook the alternator. Then one other thing, I was trying to keep from opening the power steering system, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get around it because the lines actually go down underneath the engine. They kind of wrap down, I guess, instead of, you know, going around the engine, they go under it. So my plan was, instead of pulling the engine through the top, I was going to drop it out of the bottom. So that's another thing that I'm going to have to find a workaround. So at that point then, I still need to figure out how to unhook the slave cylinder. Yeah, somewhere right down in there. I got to figure out how that unattaches from the bell housing. All the intercooler pipes are unhooked. Then once I figure out the power steering lines, undo that, maybe loosen the throttle body or pull the throttle body off, I don't know. Then it'll pretty much be down pipe, probably pull the whole exhaust because there's not a whole lot to it being that side pipe. Then it should be unhook the spindles, pull the axles out, probably drain the trans before I pull the axles, shifter cables, and then I should be on to being able to unhook the mounts and get it set down on the ground. So I'm not trying to set any records or anything. I think it's around noon. I don't know, I haven't looked at my phone. Maybe a little bit before noon, 11:30, but probably another couple hours and hopefully I'll have it set down on the ground if I don't run into any major snags. Just kind of taking my time on it, not getting too in a hurry. So, but yeah, we're slowly making progress. Another thing that I noticed, small details, it's not really that major or necessarily important, but you can see where someone at one point in time pulled this wiring harness, and that's the factory zip tie. They clip into the frame rail and they just kind of went around it. I've actually, not this style, but I have the zip ties that will clip into like a factory spot. So just one of those things where I'll probably take care of it and just kind of clean it up while I'm down here. Just one of those things that the details stick out to me and not necessarily bother me, but it's just something that I can easily fix, so I might as well do it. Well folks, this tonight is gonna wrap it up for me. I didn't get near as far as I thought I was going to. Once again, plans have changed. It is what it is. It's actually, I think, gonna work out in the good for me and maybe working on one of my projects. I may just end up pushing this out and bringing the RX-7 tomorrow. I really want to get working on those brake calipers and maybe actually focus on something for myself. But yeah, it's nobody's fault really. Could be my fault, I guess, but I guess I didn't communicate my plans fully, what I was intending to do, which isn't a big deal. He's going to be out of town for another week or so, and I actually am waiting on a gasket kit to show up, so I won't see it until Monday, which I work, you know, during the week, but I will get it through work. So I'll have my gasket kit here and then continue a little further. I don't know, I may try and drop it out. I don't know, to save the room I'd probably just leave the engine in the car for now. But yeah, pretty much ready to go. I gotta drop the exhaust, power steering hoses, and then shifter cables, and then engine and transmission mounts, and it should be ready to pretty much come out. I'm just going to lower it through the bottom, but again, not quite as far as I wanted to go, but made a lot of progress, just slowly picked away at it, and really didn't have a whole lot of time. I've been inside contemplating what I wanted to do, so instead of doing a whole over the weekend video, it's gonna probably get broke down into sections. So unfortunately didn't get it done as soon as I wanted to, or getting ready to start wrapping it up tomorrow, but it's one of those things that hopefully parts will start trickling in. I'm still waiting on parts for the BMW that were supposed to show up today that didn't, but the RX-7 parts did, so maybe I'll get it in here and at least assess the brake situation, go over the brakes, pull the front calipers off, see what all we need to do to get those rebuilt, and kind of go from there. But appreciate everybody watching along, and every view counts to me. I'm just kind of growing as I can. I figure I put the content out there, so always excited to do the videos. So watching, as I grow, hopefully you guys will follow along and want to subscribe and like and give a thumbs up on the videos for the whole YouTube algorithm. I know right now my percentage is I don't know what they have, every 4% or something like that. So I don't know, it's just one of those things that kind of doing a little bit of research, and I think it's a good thing to just kind of keep plugging away and going at after everything. The content, I have endless amounts of it, and tomorrow I know Matt is going to be stopping by, and we may do like a video cast or podcast, so looking forward to that. Going to discuss some projects and maybe go over some things that he wants to. So always content, there's going to be lots of it, and I figure I just might as well keep putting it out there. So that's going to wrap it up for tonight, I believe. We'll see everybody probably tomorrow.